It's cold. Hey there, welcome back. Today I just wanted to get with you and tell you what I'm doing in my edible landscape. So I have some basil that I need to harvest. So I'm going to be harvesting some basil. So in the next few days it's going to be around the high 30s for the low at night. And then when that passes, it's going to be back in the 60s and 70s again. My basil, I know it can't take these cold temperatures, and I want every single leaf of basil that I can harvest. But let's go get the basil. Okay. I think I'll go ahead and take these zinnias too. Bring them in the house because I don't expect them to last through this weather. Normally I just kind of clean these up out in the field, but I'm going to do this inside because it's too cold. I'm going to collect this basil that's right here. Now, the reason that I'm not pulling these out of the ground and then cutting them off, I'm going to leave those roots in the ground so they can help develop the soil. Let's go on down the way. Okay, I'm going to be collecting all the basil that's all the way up and down this row right here. I'm not really worried about the tomatoes, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Right here. So you can see how big and thick and woody this stalk is right here. It's almost too big for me to really cut it with these little snips. I need more of a pruning shear for that. Okay, so the northern wind comes from that direction. So when it blows in, like I said, we have some warmer temperatures coming up. So I'm gonna leave some of this basil that's up underneath. This is what I call the wetsuit effect. There's gonna be some insulation up in here. I'm only going to take this top growth right here that I know will get any kind of northern winds, any kind of the cold. And all of these tomato plants right here, I'm leaving in the ground because we're going to be getting some warmer weather. But for right now, I'm just after this basil right here. So I'm just going to take this top growth right here. Yeah, that thick wood is really hard to get. I really had every intention of coming out here and just getting all the basil. But this is what I did instead. I'm leaving this much right here. I'm leaving this much right here. And that's pretty much true all the way down in between all of my tomato plants and then on the other side there. Which, by the way, those are where the basil plants are that I'm letting go to seed. These are the basil plants that I had in this area for the leaves. And then those basil plants I grew just for the seed. While I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and check my jalapenos because jalapenos is gonna be something else. It just can't take any kind of cold. So it might do okay, but it might not. So I am definitely I don't want any of my jalapenos to go to waste. I'm not gonna take these little bitty ones, but if there's any big ones that are worth taking, I'm gonna take those. I'll take that one, I'll take that one. Oh, that's a good one right there. Missed it the other day. Take that one, I'll take that one. And if there's any little ones that are really up inside this plant, again, it's kind of that wetsuit effect. It's going to be insulated. It's going to be insulated by all of this. There's going to be some humidity in here. There's going to be just some protection. But if there's any big ones in there, I'm going to go ahead and take them. There's another one. Let's see. Sometimes they're kind of like cucumbers. They just kind of sneak up on you. There's another one. I'm going to be doing some pickled and some jelly. Oh, there's a pretty good one right there. See this little bitty one? It's up inside there. I'm going to leave it just because I know we have some warm weather that's coming up. Take that one. See that little bitty one? It's just not worth taking. Let's see. For this little bitty plant, it has been a really big producer. This is the one where the deer just ate all the leaves off of it. You would think it's a goner, but it's still really been producing. I'm going to take that one, that one, that one. And the only reason I'm doing this is because we have some, it's saying 36. The Weather Channel keeps changing. It keeps going from see those little bitty ones? It's not really worth taking. Oop, there's some more pretty good sized ones. There's two black all those jalapenos. But the Weather Channel keeps going back and forth. It's going to be 33, then it's going to be 32. There's another one. Oops, there's another. Ooh, that's a good one. And then it's going to be 39. Then it's going to be 36. So I don't think they know, and I'm not going to trust it. But what will happen, because this is a plant that likes the warm weather, doesn't like the cold weather, I just don't want to chance it. There's more. Again, this is the one that the deer completely stripped it bare. Good one. I'm going to take that one, especially because it's on the outside, on the northern side. That one's kind of small. I'm going to leave it. I don't know if I got all of them. Oh, there's like more right there. Is that all? There's some little bitty ones. There's a whole bunch of little bitty ones up in there. I'm going to leave those. I'm just going to take these that are decent size, and I'm going to leave the rest of them, see what happens. How many did we get off that one plant?
Let's see, we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24.
26, 27. And really there's more on there. And there's even more blooms where some blooms just fell off, and we have some more little bitty ones. And then we have this plant over here. And I did see we have some red ones on here, and I can see the deer have been eating on this again. So the deer have come back and they've been eating on it. But there's one, there's two. That one didn't get very big. Let's see. Wow, okay, I lost count. So I'm gonna take those. The deer are probably gonna come back and finish these off because it's getting cold and maybe their food supply is getting low, and they can have them. That's a good one. That's a big one right there. I'm gonna take, I don't think the deer really are after the jalapenos. I don't know if they can taste heat, like chickens can't taste heat, so. Yep, we're gonna have some good pickled peppers. There's another one that's turning red. There. Yep, there's another big one. Man. Again, I thought this plant was gone, or you'll have to go watch that video. It's pretty funny. They just completely stripped it bare and it just bounced right back. Look at that. Okay, so there may be some more little ones on there, but I can't see them, so Again, that's from these two little plants right here in my edible landscapes. I may need another basket. Okay, so I have come in and warmed up a little bit. And what I've done so far is I just washed all of the leaves, and it was pretty easy because they were already being washed off in the rain out there. So, but I'm just taking off any of the leaves that I don't want. Anything that looks like it's kind of too yellow, because it's not going to have a lot of good flavor in those. And then anything with maybe a brown spot on it, any kind of blooms that I didn't get. By the way, don't forget to compost. Always, always, always compost. So I'm throwing all these leaves that I don't want in my little compost bucket, and I will take those out to the compost pile here in just a little bit. Okay, we'll come back in just a few minutes and I'll show you how I hang them to dry. Super easy. I wanted to also remind you that one of the things that I do is I will put them in a glass of water and keep them in my windowsill, and before too long all of these will have roots starting to grow on them. If you take the ones that have the nice like bright green, oops, I missed a few bad leaves, bright green stem on it, it will grow roots on it. But really, this is just one way to extend the basil season well into the winter months. This basil will last in here as long as I keep changing the water out. This basil will last in here for a long time. Really, if I wanted to, I could pot these up and make some more plants and grow them inside. I just don't try to. It's like, you know, it makes it special whenever you have fresh basil when it's basil season. I just kind of suffer through the winter time without the fresh basil. But this will last for quite a while. Okay, so I'm just gonna tie these up as always. I'm gonna make sure there's not too much where it's tied together. I'm gonna make sure that I have some space on the bottom, and I'm gonna tie these together so there's not too much going on in there, so that they have plenty of air circulation and that they can dry out. It's going to take some twine. You can use whatever you want to use. You can use fishing line, you can use yarn, you can use whatever you want. And I'm just going to tie these off at the ends, and then I'm going to hang them in my little herb drying rack. So this is still the mud room, but I usually hang my herbs across the way. And I have like a little dowel type thing with some hooks on it that I have shown in my other videos. But this one, in this case, I'm doing it across the way. So as you can see, we have some hat hooks right here. So this is usually where we hang some hats. And I just move the hats because I need the space. So I've got them kind of staggered down. So I'm gonna be putting some shorter pieces here. These are kind of the middle, and then we have some hanging down lower right there. This is a room that gets good airflow. This is the mud room. The back door is over here, and then it goes into the kitchen over there. So it's not like it's in a closet, just like with the other videos. We want to make sure that there's good airflow, and it is raining outside right now, so these might take a little bit longer to dry out than normal. And I have fresh basil in the kitchen windowsill. Okay, that's gonna do it for this one. Until next time, bye for now. Oh, by the way, if you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe. You can do that down here. And you can hit that little bell and you'll be notified whenever I put up a new video. If you've already done that, you don't have to do that every time. You only have to do that once. You can share it. So there's a little share button down here. And if you know someone who's really into it, that wants to know how to make their dried basil and make it from the basil that's growing in your garden, it's super duper easy. That's all you do. All right, talk to you in the next one. Bye for now. I just lost some peppers. It was quite a balancing act. No, Ace, don't eat those peppers. You'll be sorry.